Now I want to step back just a little bit and discuss the division operator. Earlier we saw the format of a simple division calculation. Now I'm sure you remember back to your old school days that when you started to learn how to divide one number by another number, you were first taught about the remainder values. In Abap, we have 3 different ways we can divide numbers together, and this allows us to concentrate on the remainder, the actual integer division, and the standard division result with decimal places. So let's just go through these 3 so that you'll become familiar with them when you need to use them in your own program. So back in the code, let's add another little separator. And we'll generate some division calculations. Haven't used the result 2 before, I don't think, no. So here's the first calculation. Now I'll just generate the output. Okay, tell you what I'll do as well. Let's just line these up so they're a little easier to read. Oops. So we defined 3 variables, num1, num2 and result2. Num1 has 2 decimal places with a value of 5.45. Num2 has 2 decimal places with a value of 1.48. And result2, which will be the product of our calculation, just has 2 decimal places with no value defined. And I made a little error there. There we go. So our result will be num1 divided by num2. I've got an error somewhere. Let's have a quick look. Value expected, not values. Oops. Looks like I went all plural on it. There we go. It's useful how the syntax checker does actually identify what the errors are sometimes. You can see it's looking for value instead of values. Oh, looks like I've already used num1 in the program. Where have I used num1? Oh, there it is, look. Used it up there. Let's change it. We'll use num-A and num-B. Okay, everything looks good. I'll activate the program. And when we execute it, we can see a value of 0. Oh, silly me. Look at that, I'm outputting the wrong result. Result 2, that's what we want. There we go, so the result is 3.68. So that's a standard division. Nothing too spectacular there. Now we'll have a look at the integer division. So we'll use the same values. Now obviously I've renamed actual variable names. Now for the integer division, instead of using the normal divide symbol, we actually use div. So what's integer division? Well, as a reminder, what it will do, it will divide one number by the other, but the result we get is just going to be the integer value. So this means we will not get the decimal places. Let's activate our program, and of course I've got syntax errors. Oh, silly me, copy and pasted all wrong. There we go. Now we'll execute the program. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? Outputting the wrong result. Here we go. Oops. Now when we execute, we can see we're getting a result of 3. We're just getting the integer, the full number, not the decimal places. So now, as you can probably guess, the last example we want to look at is the remainder. And I'm going to make sure I get no syntax errors this time. Promise. Okay. Now with the remainder division type, we want to use MOD. So the result we get here is going to be the large number divided by the small, but we will only be shown the remainder value of what cannot be divided directly into num-e. I'm sure you know what I mean. I might make it sound more complicated than it is. Let's execute the program and see. Oh, one thing. Look at that, I nearly had that syntax error. So just change that. And we'll try our program. Here we go. So now we've got a remainder of 1.01. Which hopefully, by my calculation, should be correct. Let's bring in the calculator. 5.45 divided by 1.48, 3.6824. That means 3 times 1.48 gives us a value of 4.4. So if we take 4.4 from the 5.45, that gives us 1.01. Which is the result we've got there.